We're going to look at transformational or transforming leadership and transactional leadership. In a 5-week course, we just don't have time to do a deep dive into the history and the evolution of leadership theory. We have whole programs for that. We have longer courses for that. But in this week, in this module, through the reading that you were doing and also watching the clip on the 10 leadership theories in 5 minutes, you have opportunity to be introduced to the gamut of leadership theories. And what we're going to do in this segment is just focus in on 2 of those, because it is these 2 leadership theories that, whether we recognize them or not, are so prevalent in our everyday life. And that's the transactional leadership and the transformational leadership. The chart in front of you is a really good comparison of the 2 different styles. And I have taken this from the book, The Leadership Experience, again by Richard Daft. But when I read, sometimes I understand better if I graph out. And that's exactly what I did here, to put the comparisons side by side. But if you look at that transactional leader, this is if-then leadership. Basically, it is that reality that if you do this, then there will be an outcome. And I think the easiest way to consider this is to go back to just when either we were little kids or you have little kids, and this whole art of parenting. There are all kinds of transactions that happen. Many times it happens in the realm of allowance or rewards. If you make your bed, then you can play outside. Or if you empty the dishwasher, then you can watch TV. Or if you do your homework, then you can go play. But the transactions that happen on a daily basis, and those happen in our daily life as adults, they happen in our workplace. One of the biggest transactions being is if you come to work, then you will get a paycheck. It's transaction. And the characteristic of if-then leadership is it promotes stability. It doesn't mean I have to like what the transaction is that's being offered, but I know what it is. So there's a stability that comes out of that. There are generally tangible incentives or rewards that happen, and it's always an exchange process between the leader and the follower. So in light of that, it is conditional, and there is that reality of there's always something that is required. What it looks like on the sheet, it says followers operate within boundaries and positions. Again, I don't have to like it, but I know where the boundaries are. I know what my role is. I know what the positions are. And it is concerned with lower level needs of the followers. If you are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he talks about there being this very basic level where we have to start, and it's all about safety, security, and rewards. Those are all of our physical needs. Transactional leadership starts at that very first level. And so there's a lot of self-interest here. There's self-interest for the follower because I know what I want to get out of this, and you've told me what I need to do. But it's also self-interest for the leader because I've told you what's expected, what's important, what needs to happen here. And because you do that, I will be allowed to have an outcome that's preferred as well. So what ends up happening, one of the results, is that it does build confidence. And basically looking at this is management at its best, because there's the traditional management functions that fall in under that. But if you cross the page and look at that transformational or that transforming leadership style, you're going to see that this style develops followers into leaders. Well, what does that mean? Basically, what it is saying that with transformational leadership, we are promoting change. Rather than keeping things the way they are, keeping the status quo, promoting stability, we're saying, nope, change is in the air. So we're going to promote change, and there will be intangible incentives. That reality being that leadership is based then upon personal values and beliefs, because of what we're hoping for from both leader and follower. So when you look at it, instead of having straight line boundaries and functions, Now, all of a sudden, we have fuzzy boundaries because we are elevating followers' concerns. Again, in the hierarchy of needs, we're going way to the top, meaning with their self-actualization, their self-esteem. And what it means is all the other levels have been fulfilled in that process. And the pronoun here now is not about I. It's not about self-interest. It's a we. It's an our, because there is group welfare here. And we are envisioning a desired future state. We're trying to move people to action. We're trying to move from here to there. So the result in this one is that we're engaging hearts and minds to broaden the future and to consider deeper change in that process. Now, does one size fit all? Absolutely not. Effective leaders use both, and they pay attention to when transactional leadership is most effective and or when transformational leadership is most effective. So that reality, I encourage you and challenge you to continually ask yourself, who am I? What's my style? What's my default style? How am I leading? And what is the style of my leader? Am I following a transactional leader or am I following a transformational leader? There's evidences of both. I want you to watch for those. One thing I want to say here is that the Bible is a great textbook on leadership. In fact, we could throw away probably all of our books and go back to Scripture and find leadership principles and ideas and individuals to learn leadership from. So these styles are not new. This week you will be watching a short segment by Craig Groeschel. And basically in this presentation that he's doing, God in the Valley, he is introducing us to some of the transactional leadership opportunities that Jesus is offering, that we are offered. The Bible is filled with more than 7,000 promises from God. If you look at them, many of them are written or directed in a transactional style. They're called the if promises of God. If you, the person, then I, God, will do. So watch this segment, jot down what you hear him saying, and recognize that as you do your assignments this week, you are going to be integrating all of this information into that. And with both of these in leadership dynamics, the reality is that this is a collective effort of people together with the whole opportunity and desire and hopefully outcome of transforming lives.